Hello everybody, welcome to 1983 Evolution. Nelsonpiquet on pole here in Brazil from Alainprost, Eddiecheever, Riccardopatrese and Danny Sullivan in the Tyrrell, having done an amazing job to qualify in 5th place. Can he hold on for some points? We'll see, but Piquet leads away well, Prost behind and then Cheever, and they are all trying to just consolidate at the moment with the conditions being what they are. They're waiting for it to dry out a little bit, but Patrese isn't. Patrese is already attacking Eddiecheever because he wants to have a good chance at this, and Cheever knows that it is crucial to defend, because if Patrese gets past him too early, that may well be Nelsonpiquet's lead at risk. So, not Nelsonpiquet's lead, Alainprost 2nd place, excuse me. But there we go, they're running off in the background, but Piquet and Prost keeping it quite calm at the minute in P1 and 2 as they have control of the race and they want to dictate the pace. They don't want to be forced. And Sullivan is off. Sullivan, I think, did he run into the back of Patrese? He hasn't got any damage, but he has gone off the road, and it's allowed René Arnoux in the Ferrari to go past him. There is Jacques Lafitte in the Williams in 7th place. But look at this, because Piquet is leading, Prost is in 2nd, and then it's Cheever with Patrese applying the pressure, and Patrase's gone past Cheever, and he's going to have a look at Prost as well. Patrese, that Brabham BMW having so much power that neither Renault can fight it in a straight line, and Patrese up in the 2nd place. So Brabham 1-2 right now, and this is going to be fascinating because we're going to see exactly what may happen as, look, they're all going a little bit wide now. They clearly don't have the tyres for the conditions, but I wonder who's going to pit. But there are some lining up to pit. We don't know who yet. We'll find out when they come round to the pit lane entry who is going to pit and risk it and risk doing better later on. Who is going to stay and hold out for the track position. At the moment it's Piquet leading Patrese, then Prost, then Cheever, then Arnoux, and Sullivan still in 6th place at the moment, but Piquet coming into the pits, as is Prost, and then Arnoux as well. So Patrese takes the lead, Cheever goes up to 2nd place, and I believe Danny Sullivan has stayed out as well, so he will be up in the 3rd. And everyone else, there's quite a lot of pit stops being made. Nikilauda stays out, he will move up to 4th when this all shakes out, and I'm not sure who will be 5th, but we'll find out shortly on that count. Patrese continues to lead, and it's looking very, very good for Riccardopatrese. He is, even though his teammate is at home Grand Prix, it's Patrese who has had the pace clearly, and Piquet, here he is in the pit lane. I think this might be a slightly delayed replay rather than totally live, but look, it's chaos there. Arnoux gets hit, and then I think that's Watson gets caught up as well, and Piquet is hit, and look at that Alfa Romeo of, I think, andreadecesaris, or maybe actually Mauro Baldi, but just piling in to everybody, and Piquet has pitted and he's come out without a rear wing. Well, the great irony being that Piquet was in the pits, so they could have just kept him longer and replaced it, but they haven't done that. They've sent Piquet back out with Prost behind him, and Prost has a fully functioning car. Well, Brabham have made an error, I believe, in pitting Piquet in the first place, but then they made another error in not repairing the damage instantly, and Prost goes through. So Prost up ahead of Nelsonpiquet then. It is still Patrese leading though, with Cheever and Sullivan, and Nikilauda is under pressure from Nigel Mansell. Lotus showed nothing in qualifying. Mansell was down in 14th. D'Angelis not much better, and Mansell applying the pressure, but Lauda has an issue. Lauda is off, and that is the double world champion with all of his experience out of this Brazilian Grand Prix, and that will promote Alainprost. The pit stops haven't worked for him, but at least he's going to get some points still. And Eliseo Salazar is coming up upon Nelsonpiquet, I believe, so Salazar may well get into the points ahead of that Brabham. Well, this is a bit of a turn up for the books, isn't it? Cheever continues to lead Danny Sullivan. We thought Danny Sullivan was going to slip back, but he is being ever so consistent in this race, apart from his little moment earlier on, which we haven't seen a replay of. I'm hoping we will see one very shortly, but Patrese leading still from Cheever, and Sullivan is applying all sorts of pressure. The 2 Americans on the podium, that is going to please the American contingent for sure, but Cheever he hasn't got any pace to defend, and Sullivan goes straight through. Danny Sullivan gets that Tyrrell up in the 2nd position. What a performance from Danny Sullivan this is, and this is incredible. Mansell is in a 4th with Lauda having gone out, and then you've got Prost up in the field. Oh, that's Mansell! Mansell is out! He's had an issue, and Nigel Mansell out of the Grand Prix, and we're going to see that is, so that's what happened to Danny Sullivan on the first lap. He just got a little too close to Patrese in the braking zone and crept up and ended up no damage done, but it did delay him. Thankfully, with the way the pit stops panned out, it didn't really affect Sullivan's race, and he's still able to get up there and be in second place. Although, to be fair, it's cost him a bit of time at Patrese, which he is still trying to close in. And I think at the moment Sullivan is actually running quicker than Riccardo Patrese. Could a Tyrrell win this Grand Prix? It's maybe possible, but I think they're going to run out of time eventually. Jarier up into 6th in the Ligier, and Andreadecesaris 5th in the Alfa Romeo. So some of these midfield runners are taking advantage, and they are getting a good haul of points. And look at the way Sullivan is reeling Riccardo Patrese in. I thought that Brabham was the quickest car today, but it could just be that Patrese is controlling the pace and easing it back as he comes towards the end of the race. But Sullivan certainly wants to make an impression. He certainly wants to give Patrese something to think about, because Tyrrell, if they can get back to winning ways, they'll be infinitely happy with that. And Danny Sullivan would love to be the guy to do it. He'd love to set up his own sort of Jackie Stewart style story with Tyrrell. But it's Riccardo Patrese is going to come through. The time has run out for Sullivan to close in that gap, and Riccardo Patrese will win the opening Grand Prix of 1983 for Brabham. Danny Sullivan finishing in second, a great performance for him. And then Eddiecheever, he is third, and then we're waiting to see who will cross the line in fourth place. I believe it might just be alainprost. I think he's moved up quite nicely, and with Mansell having gone out, that could well be Prost taking the position, but we will find out shortly. It's going to have quite a wait because there is a pit stop gap there. But Patrese, Sullivan and Cheever, that is the podium. Patrese 9 points, Sullivan 6, Cheever 4. Prost does indeed finish in fourth place, and he will have 3 points. Andreadecesaris on course to finish 5th, that will give him 2. And Jarier, Ligier weren't fancied at all this year. They're saying that the car they bought out was really bad, but Jarier is going to get a point here. So not bad for Ligier overall. Brabham on 9 in the Constructors, Renault on 7, Tyrrell on 6, Alfa Romeo 2, and Ligier 1. And all that remains to say is thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Subscribing is free and it really helps the channel out. And take care, and I'll see you guys soon.